And I'm not one of them people that get to a certain age and then start hating on the generation after them. I'm not one of these young kids today. That's not me. I hate that. You know, this is the worst generation ever. No, they not. No, they not. All right, they're no worse than us or our parents or our grandparents. The only difference between this generation and all of us, the rest of us, is they're too stupid to stop documenting everything. All right, that's the only difference. Every idea and thought they have, they put it out in the world. Everything they do, they film it. It's like, stop. I seen a dude the other day. He was like, yeah, we about to rob these niggas, and then pulled his mask down. I'm like, we saw your face. You going to jail, bro. Like, we saw you. They just dumb. They just won't, like, we did our stuff in the dark like you're supposed to. You know what I mean? They're not worse. They just let everybody know what they're doing. They got to stop doing that, man. But I don't want to hate on them, and I don't want to be that old guy that becomes a hater. And now I just watch old dudes because I know I'm next. I watch my dad and his friends. I just watch older guys flirt. I love doing that. That's my favorite. Watching older dudes flirt is the best because their game is different than ours because their life is different. So their pickup lines is shit you ain't never heard before. Like, I was on the flight, and there was a lady sitting in front of me, and I didn't know she was old at first, right? But when she got up, she made her noises. That's how I knew, because she was sitting there, and then all of a sudden she got up, she was like, ugh! And I was like, all right, she up there, right? And so she get up, and dude across, now I saw him, he had full gray hair and everything. He decided he was gonna shoot his shot now, right? So he goes, oh, are you okay? And she said, yeah, it's just my knees. He goes, you know, I just got mine replaced. And he takes out his phone and he starts showing her pictures of his knee replacement. And I'm like, yo, is this like the dick pic for old dudes? Like, is this how you brag after a certain age? Like, hey, bitch, look what I can do. What you, hey. Beatrice, what you want to do? Gladys, what you want? She's like, oh, Herman, please. Like, what? Is that how you get them with just a fresh pair of knees and you got all the old hoes? That's how it works? It's crazy. It's just a different world, you know what I'm saying? I just be watching like, this is crazy, man. And then your parents start getting older, and that's when you realize how older you get too, and then you start reflecting a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I had two great parents. I had two hood parents, though. Mom and dad were both hood, right? But we grew up in the suburbs. But my parents was from South Central LA. But it's weird because they were two different types of hood, right? Like, my dad was the hood you can see. His is very visible, right? It could be completely quiet in this room, and you just hear somebody in the back like, I'll kill every nigga in here. Be like, all right, my dad is here, you know what I mean? Like, but my mom my mom bougie. I'm talking about sit up straight, salad fork, knife fork, you know, turtlenecks in the middle of summer. Like, she just showing, like, my mom's a lady. So when I was a kid and my dad would be wilding out, we would go to our mom to calm him down, right? So I remember one time we was at one of our baseball games. I hear somebody say, you know, that kid in right field sucks, right? My dad don't play about his kids. So he's like, what'd you say? He was like, that kid sucks. And they were talking about my brother, not me. I was fucking amazing, right? But my brother, big trash, right? So he goes, you talking about my son? I'll kill everybody in here. Homie, what you want to do? I'll kill everybody in here. And I'm like, Dad, first of all, why does everybody have to die? Why can't you just kill him? He's the only one you have a problem with. You gotta air out the whole park? Why? There's families here. Why? And so whenever he would do that, we would go to our mom and be like, Mom, you gotta go get Dad. He tripping again. And my mom would be sitting there, and my mom would be like, well, sometimes niggas have to die. And I was like, what? You just okay with this? All right, bet. You know what I mean? But I had a great childhood, man. I can't remember like any traumatic experience or anything, and maybe it's just because kids don't look at stuff like you're supposed to, I guess. But my life was great. The only real issue I ever could think of was like I remember I was like 3 or 4 years old, and my mom and dad were having a domestic issue. When I say domestic issue, I don't mean he was hitting her or anything like that, right? But the furniture could get it. You feel me? And so he was banging on the door. He had left his key or something, I don't know, but she had locked him out the house. So he banging on the door. It's me, my mom, my brother. We watching TV. She won't let him in the house. I said, Mom, Dad's at the door. She said, I know. I said, you want me to open the door for him? She said, no, let him sit out there. Think about what he did. Right? And I'm a kid. I don't understand adult things. So I'm like, what could he have done so bad that my mom would lock him out the house? Like, what's the thing she's always fussing over? And I was like, oh, shit. So I tapped my brother. I said, hey, man, we got to start eating our vegetables. She's not fucking around, bro. Like, homeless, you know what I mean? Like, and so he banging on the door, she still won't let him in. All of a sudden, he manages to get the door open. How? I don't know, but he's from South Central. I'm sure he had the skill set, right? So he opens the door, but we had a chain on the door, so when he tried to open it, it stopped, and it kind of looked like The Shining, like, here's Johnny, you know what I mean? Like, I just saw that. So I eyeball, he talking to, you ever see somebody try to cut somebody out with this much space? He's like, let me that goddamn door. You couldn't even. And so she won't even pay him no mind, no, she keep watching TV, right? All of a sudden, the door closed. Boom! It explodes open. I'm talking about chain flies off, the wood pieces everywhere, door off the hinges. He busted that whole door down, right? Now, you would think as a kid, that would traumatize you, right? Not at all. We lived on the base at the time, so the MPs came and they wanted to talk to me, and they was like, hey, we need to talk to you for a second. I said, what's up? They was like, we just need to ask you some questions. Do you feel safe with your father? And I was like, yeah. They was like, has he ever harmed you or your mother or your brother? I was like, no. They was like, you don't have no concerns or safety issues? I was like, no. In fact, I've never felt better. And they was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, bro, look at the door. Like, nigga, we live with the Incredible Hulk. Like, I've never been so excited. I thought my dad was the strongest person on earth. You understand me? I went to school the next day happy as hell. Like, my dad could beat up your dad. You know what I mean? I was pumped. I was talking big shit. My dad's stronger than everybody. They was like, yeah, right. I'm like, come by the house and prove it. And they was like, we went by that house. There was no door. I'm like, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I was hyped. And when you a kid and you happy about stuff, what you want to do? You want to tell everybody. So we go to the barbershop the next day, right? And I'm like, all right, here's my chance to brag on my dad. You know, so, and for those who I'm looking around the room, you know, if you've never been to a black barbershop, and a couple of you haven't, clearly, right? But if you've ever been to a black barbershop, you know haircuts in a black barbershop take 3 to 5 business days. Right? Because they be in there just talking, just running their mouth, arguing over sports, venting about their women, because that's their safe space, all that stuff, right? So they all venting on women. They tap on my dad. It's his turn to clock in. Right? And they're like, Keith Wright, you know what I'm talking about? He was like, man, these women, how you doing some crazy stuff? I was like, yeah, Dad, tell him about the door. He was like, hey, we don't talk about that, bro. We don't talk about that outside. Matter of fact, if you be quiet, I'll take you to Toys R Us later. And I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't say nothing else. I was quiet. We leave. It's nighttime, obviously, because, again, black barbershop, all right? So we get to Toys R Us, right? We walk up to the door. It don't open. He look at the hours. He's like, oh, man, it's closed, guys. We got to come back. I was like, we do? Do the thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, I thought he could just break any door down. I didn't know it only worked in homes. But it's crazy, man. But I had a great childhood, man. It was a good time. And now I got kids. I got 2 boys, and I'm raising them in the suburbs as well. But they're like extra suburbs. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're way further removed than I am. But I still play my sports in the hood. We went to visit family and all that. But my kids, they a little more like a lot of their sports leagues is mostly white kids, right? So they be dominating. But but I hate where we live because of society. We live in such a PC society now. I get asked stupid questions because nobody wants to be offensive. And we can't just address real things anymore because people are like, oh my God, you know. So it's the first day of baseball practice, and black kids don't really play baseball no more. Like, you go to baseball, it's not a lot of black kids left, right? And so he's the only black kid on this team. I'm filling out the paperwork for the insurance and all that stuff. The team mom walks up to me. She goes, oh, are you one of the dads? I said, yeah. She goes, oh, okay. Which little fella is yours? I'm like, take a wild guess. You see the one running faster than everybody else? Like, that one's mine. That one's mine. But I wanted to lie because it was a stupid question. I wanted to be like Connor in right field. That's my guy out there. Right? But I didn't want her to be like, Connor's my son, and why do you know these little boys' names? Now I gotta get the fuck out of there before I end up on the registry, you know what I'm saying?
I'm doing old black man things for no reason. Just for no reason. When I see my friends, how I greet them is different, you know what I mean? I can't remember stuff. Every time I'm doing the old black man stance, I be saying, how you doing, brother? All right, good to see you, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm like, why am I standing? I never did that. I never rocked back and forth before. I never did this. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, man, how you doing? But you still stay over there you still stay over there on I was like, why can't I remember his address? I don't know what's happening. Black men never know where you live. You still stay over there on you over there off right. They think if you do this, you'll know where you stay right by the, if you just, you got the, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. And I don't know what's happening.